Greetings, everybody. News from the pews. Mauricio, you have the grace of being the very first seventh grader ever on News from the Pews.
Yeah.
Are you excited?
Yeah.
I bet you are. Are you ready for all the other your classmates to be jealous and all that?
Oh yeah.
I mean, they're all going to be not texting you, and when you see them at school tomorrow, they're going to be like, "How did you get on that?" And they all want on here, But Mauricio is here. Mauricio, thank you for being here. Mm-hmm. Mauricio, we have a lot to talk about in a very short amount of time. I want to talk about Scouts. I want to talk about your time at St. Joe's School. I want to talk about your family and serving. Let's start with your family. You tell us your mom is Lupita, your dad is Edgar, your sister is Emma, and you also have many other family members, cousins, and
yes.
How many family members do you think go to our church?
I know at least everyone here in Shelbyville, and some from Chicago, and some from all the way from California. Have been here.
So do you think probably about 20 members of your family every weekend are here, do you think? When you think about your cousins, your uncles, your aunts, probably about 20.
Yeah.
And they got the whole section over there.
Yeah.
By the Blessed
Mother. Our little private area next to the air conditioning.
Mauricio, your parents are the kind of people that are very involved at church, aren't they?
Yes, they are.
Your mom, right now, as we speak, is giving a thema at the Christ Renews Parish. Now we call it Bienvenidos. Your dad doing a holy hour right now. Just had mass, but boy, they do a lot at church, don't they? Yes. What does that do for you, Mauricio? Just to see your parents like that involved with God.
It teaches me to stay involved into love and adore God, Jesus, everyone, not just everyone in the Bible, but everyone in the right now.
Yes.
You, my family, my neighbor.
Yes.
People walking across the street. They're all my friends. So.
I love it. There was one quote that says, "There's no strangers in my life, only friends that I haven't met yet." Isn't that beautiful?
Yes.
And Mauricio, that's good because I think back, my parents were kind of like yours when I was your age. They still are very involved, at church, but it's like I kind of learned by their witness that God is important. He is worth he's worth me being generous, Like you think about how generous your parents are and all they do around here, and that teaches you to be generous, doesn't it?
Yes.
And that's why you do so much around here. Mauricio, little does everybody know, has been serving since the 4th grade, and Mauricio has also, you're just around a lot, helping out in every way you can. Do you remember, Mauricio, there was was it a Christmas Day Mass?
It was a Christmas Day Mass.
You were my only server.
Yeah.
Because everybody goes to Mass on Christmas Eve, and I had 30 servers at Christmas Eve, Midnight Mass, a bunch there, and Spanish Vigil Mass, all that. But Christmas Day,
there was
nobody. Mauricio did the incense. Mm-hmm. Mauricio did the bells. Mauricio did the cross. Mauricio did the candles. Mauricio did everything. The book, you held the book?
Yeah.
He had a cross in this arm and the incense. No, we probably dropped one of them, didn't we? Yeah. What's your favorite thing about serving, Mauricio, at Mass?
For me, my favorite part is probably being able to get involved and up close, yes. And then to just embrace and then to touch and feel his presence and all the things that I get to carry and hold.
That's right, because you're right there. I mean, you are right in front of everything. You're in the part of the church is the sanctuary. It represents heaven, and the rest of the church represents earth. And of course, when we go to communion, we go like that's the meeting point, but you get to be in heaven the whole Mass.
Yeah.
And that is awesome. And when you're kneeling right before, you can see, you get that close view of Jesus at the Eucharist. I mean, that is extraordinary. You serve very well. Does it get hot up there ever?
Yeah, a lot.
It does.
But I mean,
people don't know this, Mauricio, that there's no air conditioner ducts up there. There's ducts out in the earthy part, but there's no air conditioning in heaven, because in heaven, you're just on fire with God's love. Better than the fires of hell. Those are bad fires.
Yes.
But the fires of love, in heaven, it's just beautiful. So you do get kind of hot. You've never fainted, though.
No.
Have you ever been at a Mass when somebody fainted?
I think once.
Yeah. It's always kind of crazy when one of the servers goes down, It is funny, but you know what? We take it in stride, because I remember when one of my good friends, we were serving, and I was in school, and it was a school Mass, and right next to me was Matt, and Matt just like collapsed, and I go, I just looked down at him like, what am I supposed to do with that? It was so wild. But do you think, Mauricio, that everybody your age should serve?
Not everyone, but yes, a lot of people do serve along with me, and I don't go to English very often, but I do know that there's always one or two of my friends from this grade and just serving. And it's like, whenever I get to go to a different Mass, it's very nice to see them doing something that, I do on a daily basis.
That's right. Yeah, we got servers at every Mass. It's beautiful. Let's talk about Scouts, Mauricio. You are in the Boy Scouts.
Yeah. And
what level are you?
Senior patrol leader, which means I'm pretty much the top for the actual troop member.
You're the top dog.
Yeah.
The top dog of what?
Of my troop, which is Troop 203 here at St. Joe.
That's awesome. And you started, like 4 years ago?
Oh, no, wait. I started in the 3rd grade.
What are some things you've learned in Scouts that you probably wouldn't know if you weren't in Scouts?
A lot about, camping and survival, but it's also taught me a lot to embrace what is here. I know, me personally, I like a lot of video games, but whenever I'm with the Scouts and whenever we go camping, it teaches me to embrace nature and the beauty that God created for us to look, while instead we're all looking at screens.
That's right. Yeah, I love what you said. It teaches you to embrace what is here. Like nature and what God's creation, And you probably learned how to cook out, or cook out, but what do you call it when you're out at a campsite? Make food and camp and, all this sort of stuff. And work, you learn how to work fire and knives and all that cool stuff?
Yep. I learned how to build fires in different ways. I learned how to use knives in the proper manner. I also learned how to use axes and hatches, saws, and it's really fun. And it's definitely something that I would recommend someone to go out and try, because it's a really cool and nice experience.
Are you're gonna keep on going? Aren't you gonna be an Eagle Scout?
Yeah.
I can't wait. I love, if you think about it, everybody, all the stuff that's happened even at this church, on our campus with Eagle Scout projects, the Gaga pit, the fire pit, the sign out front, the benches, the playground at the nights, the teacher's lounge. I hope I'm not, there are just so many projects, and I love it when a young man comes and says, I have an Eagle Scout project, I need something to do. Oh, and then one's right now working at St. Vincent, building up my pollinator habitat. And or not my habitat, there's already a pollinator habitat, but building inside of that my bee colony, which the pollinator habitat, of course, was built for in honor of Sister Jonah. Sister Jonah is still working a lot out there. Actually, she was out there a couple days ago removing weeds and things and doing some work. And but inside there is now a bee colony where we are raising bees, Mauricio. I will give you some honey.
Okay.
Oh, but it's a good thing, isn't it?
I got taught by the best, which is Antonio and Bo.
Oh, God love them. I went to their Eagle Scout ceremony, and it was so beautiful to see. What they and to watch, because there is the working the knives and the fire and the camps. Most importantly, what are you learning? Virtue. Virtue, hard work, how to be respectful, how to be, what is the do you remember the oath? That's a tricky.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
That's kind of long, isn't it? To do my duty to God and my country. Maybe we should edit this part out. Because I don't remember it.
Oh, okay. I think it was, on my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country, to obey the Scout law, to help
other people.
Oh my goodness.
And obey the law of the pack.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's something like that.
Yeah, it's something like that.
That's good.
It's getting my mind.
Well, it's like the creed at Mass.
Yeah.
I'm a priest. I do Mass every day, but if I'm doing the creed alone, I mess it up.
Yeah.
Well, Mauricio, couldn't be more proud of you. Thank you for you do St. Joe very proud, and so Mauricio is an alum, of course, of our school, and you went here from preschool through 5th grade, didn't you? What was your not your favorite teacher, but your favorite grade level here, if you had to pick one?
If I had to pick one, I'd say 5th grade.
Wow. It's because then you're the leaders, and it's that beautiful time where you really get to appreciate them. I got to go, folks. I'm running a few minutes late. So thank you, Mauricio, for being on here, and blessings to all. Tune in next week for News from the Pews.